This is Jayhawk Airsoft, and today we're going to be talking about the Individual First Aid Kit, or IFAK. The IFAK is your first aid kit for you, yourself, and maybe one other squad mate. The important part of the IFAK is that it's not as big as the medic bag, but the medic bag is usually only carried by the medic, and the IFAK is carried by every operator. You might not be familiar with carrying an IFAK if you haven't done any milsim games or any large-scale outdoor operations. Typically, the CQB at indoor fields, first aid's not that big of an issue as the field itself will probably have a first aid kit. And the other nice thing with indoor fields is if there is an emergency, 911 is there immediately. But if you're out in the woods in a milsim game, you might have to treat yourself or one of your squad mates before help arrives. So this is where the IFAK comes in. The IFAK you can carry in any pouch you want. You can even divide it into a few Ziploc bags and carry them in your BDUs. That's kind of how it was done prior to the vests being really involved. Usually the IFAK would be carried in one of the fatigue pockets. But now, since we have the Mole system, these are really easy to set up. What you're seeing right now is the Condor ENT pouch. This is the Rip-Away model. It's a fairly good sized pouch. You can hold a lot of stuff in here. In addition to being used as a first aid kit, I've also seen people buy these to use as just general utility pouches. Carry a few extra batteries, any kind of tools they need to get their gun running that don't really fit in with the rest of their loadout. So the bag itself is made of 300 denier nylon, which means it's going to be a pretty rugged pouch. I wouldn't drag myself across the concrete on top of it, but as far as everyday wear and tear on the bag, you're going to be fine. As you can see, it's a clamshell design bag. Got some mole on the front. Got a wonderful amount of Velcro real estate for just a pouch, also on the front. And you've got a pull handle up here. The way that the Rip-Away system works is you probably can't. You can see that there's Velcro here, but what this is this is the hook side of Velcro. What you're going to get with the Rip-Away pouch is it's going to come in two parts. One of them is going to be a big panel that will hook into your mole webbing and has the loop or kind of soft section of the Velcro. Then, when you get that panel where you want your pack to go, all you have to do is push your pack straight on, wiggle it a little bit to make it firm, and that's where your pack is. Then, if you need the pack, you just pull the handle and it will rip off. That's one of the nice things about this is that it can go from being a pouch on your person to a bag that other people can work with very quickly. Speaking of other people, that's the important reason for this Velcro real estate here. The point of the IFAK is that it's your individual first aid kit. A lot of times this means you'll be using it on yourself if you get a cut, need a band-aid. But the way the combat medical system is supposed to work is that when the medic needs supplies, they go to your IFAK first, and then when they deplete your IFAK, they'll go to the medic bag. So what this allows your medic to do is to have supplies to treat you. Your medic may actually carry a team medic bag, but if he doesn't, then you know you're taken care of because at least you've got enough for you. So, opening the bag here, and you'll notice that I have moved the zippers to the top, and this is for a specific reason. In a high stress environment, it's going to be harder to do fine motor skills. So what having both the zippers at the top enables you to do is just grab each of the poles, pull them in opposite directions, and the bag is open. It may be a little bit harder in a high stress situation to find that other zipper pull and get it open. So we open the clamshell up, and you'll notice that there's a compartment here, there's a compartment here, and there's a big mesh compartment here. So let's go through what I got in here a little bit. In this pouch here, see if I can show the camera for you. We've got just some general BSI kind of stuff. We've got our nitrile, not latex gloves. You want to try to get nitrile because they, well, for latex allergy reasons, latex isn't really recommended anymore. And in my personal experience as a medic, nitrile is the only material other than latex that you can still get a pretty good grip through. The vinyl gloves work okay for isolating you from bodily fluids, but as far as grip and dexterity, you want to go with nitrile gloves. They come in blue, they come in purple, they come in this nice light blue, they come in TSA blue, and they come in black if you just need your emergency gloves to be tactical too. Then we've got this little pole here that holds our forceps, or tweezers as they're commonly known. This is going to be good for pulling splinters out, any foreign objects, good for holding on to very small things. And these are plastic, they're not metal, so you're going to need to make sure if you use these, give them a run through the dishwasher to clean off any foreign bodies. If they're metal, you can just throw them in a pot of boiling water and everything's clean. The next thing over might be more of a regional thing for us here in Kansas. This is a Sawyer snake bite treatment kit. You can pick these up for $5 or so at any camping store. And it will include instructions with it, but I would encourage you to do your research online, watch a few YouTube videos, really know what you're doing before you try. Up here, we've got a small pair of bandage scissors. These are for cutting through things like gauze bandages. As far as cutting any clothing materials away, I have my trauma shears, which are stowed here in my admin pocket. Then we go over and we've got these two tongue depressors. Obviously that's what they're marketed as, they're tongue depressors. Yours, when you buy them new, will come in a sterile paper package, but these are just in here for demonstration purposes. Obviously this tongue depressor use is not what it's going to be like in a doctor's office. These are primarily for splinting. When you have an injured finger, there's one of two ways you can splint it. You can either splint your finger in between these two and wrap it up with tape, or you can do what we call an anatomical splint, where you will tape one finger to the other to hold the other finger straight and hopefully keep everything immobilized until you can get to a actual medical facility. We can actually do things for broken fingers. Broken toes, you just kind of have to live with. If you go to a hospital with a broken toe, you'll get the same answer that you'll get from a medic. There's nothing that can be done about it. And in the hospital, you'll pay way more. But fingers can be fixed. So, we go into the next department here, and this is kind of a bulkier area. And what we have here is we have all the tape. We've got fabric tape, we've got bandage tape, we've got another kind of cloth tape. One of the things I really like about this system is that each roll of tape is on a big metal safety pin. One of the nice things that provides is the way that it's strung through the roll of tape. I can still use this as a roll of tape, but the safety pin keeps it retained inside the bag. So I can have all my tape options to play with there. When we go down, I've got a big ol' instant cold pack in there. Those can be useful for treating injuries, but also can be very important during summertime games if someone is critically overheating. What you can do with these in the event of an overheat is you stick one of these in one of the body's main heat releasing areas. Typically that's going to be the neck, the groin, or the armpits. And since those centers are the areas of the body where most of the heat is going to be released, you'll notice they're always the warmest too. If there's something cool there, it means that this coolness is going to start sucking the heat out of their body at a pretty good rate, and hopefully prevent any injuries. But again, in any emergency, getting off the field is always your best bet. Then in here we've got all of our alcohol wipes, all of our swabs, things of that nature. And finally, in here is the bandage department. Obviously, band-aids, those are good to carry for minor injuries. In Wilderness EMS, we basically follow that anything that can be treated with a band-aid probably could have been treated without one. So they're not super essential, but they can make you feel better. And then that's also where we'll carry our gauze rolls, kind of similar to this one. This is a big roll of conforming gauze, and that could also fit in there. I'm not entirely sure why that was in my pocket. And it also has pads, which are 4-inch by 4-inch pads of the same gauze. It's just not in a roll, and it's used to absorb. So basically that's it for the pack. You can find this. The pack itself is around $10. That gets you a really good quality bag for whatever you do decide to use it for. And I would estimate there's no more than $20 worth of supplies in here. So you put that together, you're looking at $30, $35 to put together a kit that's going to keep you safe on the field, maybe help you save somebody else's life. But if $35 seems too much for you to be using for airsoft, I would heartily advise that you get one. But at this point, I would advise you that this doesn't just have to be for airsoft. If you want to just keep this all together with your airsoft kit, that's cool. You'll know where everything is when you need to go play. But this is really a good setup. I like this. I've been an EMT. I've been a wilderness EMT. I've worked wilderness search and rescue. I've had a little bit of experience. And this is still a really awesome first aid kit design. It's compact. It puts everything together in a really organized way. And I would actually recommend this as a home first aid kit. First aid kit if you're a college student going to school. Keep it in your truck, whatever. It's going to cover you for a lot of things. And you can also, as you can see, I had lots of room to spare. So you can put whatever personal medications you need, maybe a rescue inhaler if you have asthma. You can make this your own very easily. And if you're able to use it for something other than airsoft, you can kind of, in your own mind at least, justify the budget. Alright, thank you. That's going to be it for now.